Hello and welcome back to the another episode of the Hindu News Analysis. Well, it is 1st October 2025 and in this video we are going to discuss some important articles which are very much relevant for your preparation. But before we will start our discussion, I would like to give the brief idea about the approach which we are going to have while we will discuss these articles here. So first, with respect to every article, we will try to understand the summary of the article. We'll try to see what does this author wants to convey us, what are the important points given in the article which could be relevant for us, which we need to note down as a UPSC aspirant. We'll try to understand those points. We'll try to understand the summary of the article. After we will understand the summary, we'll look into the key points of the article which could be very much important for us because from these key points the questions can be asked in the exam. So this is the second thing which we will look into the article. Then third, after discussing the summary and the key points, we'll try to find out what can be the question framed from this article, prelims or mains question, that we will try to understand. So this is the approach which we are going to have with respect to every article which we have to discuss here. Now, without any delay, let's try to understand the first article which we had brought here. As you can see here on the screen, the article is about the Hamas. The article is again about the ceasefire proposal of Donald Trump. It is about the ceasefire proposal of Donald Trump. So what he has proposed, we have to look into the key points. What are the important points he had proposed in the ceasefire, and what is the ultimatum he has given to the Hamas. The ultimatum is mostly 3 to 4 days. He has given to Hamas to respond to the ceasefire proposal. 3 to 4 days he had given to Hamas to respond within these 3 to 4 days about the proposal which he has framed. And what are the key points in that proposal? First, first key point is that the Hamas should free all the hostages which are held by them. Then second, there should be the disarmament of Hamas. This is also one of the point which was mentioned there. And then the third, the territory which is occupied by Israeli military, which is occupied by Israel, they would withdraw their military from the Gaza by time. Slowly and steadily, they will withdraw from there. So these are few important points which were highlighted, which were given by the Trump, which are given in the Trump proposal, and he is expecting that the Hamas should accept it. Otherwise, the consequences would be very much bitter. So, with respect to this, what was the reaction of the different countries? This article highlights that. If we look at the Arab countries, they had highly appreciated this, and they believe that the Trump, his proposal is very much genuine, and it should be obliged with. And at the same time, what does the Netanyahu believe in? Netanyahu believes in, he has in a way supported this proposal, but at the same time, he has believed that there is no recognition for the Palestinian state, no such recognition for the Palestinian state. And also, he said that the Israeli army, Israeli military would stay in the Gaza, in the most of the places in the Gaza. And what is the reaction from the Palestinian, the Gazan people? They are fearing that the Hamas will not accept it. Why? Because the conditions are very much bitter for Hamas to accept. So this is the condition right now. This is the ceasefire proposal which was given by the Trump. So this can be very much important for your preparation, and at the same time, the condition, the issues which are happening in the Gaza, the genocide which is happening in there, it is very much important for in ending that genocide. This step can be very much important in ending that genocide. So with respect to this is a brief summary of the article which it has highlighted. Let's look at the key points given in here and try to understand those key points. So who is the proposer? It is the US President Donald Trump in consultation with the Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu. What is the ultimatum? Hamas given 3 or 4 days to respond, which we had discussed. What are the core requirements? Ceasefire, hostage release within 72 hours, Hamas disarmament, gradual Israeli withdrawal, and a post-war transitional authority chaired by Trump. So these are the proposals, core requirements. Then what is the Netanyahu stance? Supports the plan, but explicitly stated that military will remain in most of Gaza and that he did not agree to a Palestinian state that we know that we had already discussed. Then what is the Arab sub? How Arab other Arab countries had supported it? They had welcomed by it has been welcomed by 8 Arab Muslim majority nations, including Qatar, which hosts Hamas leadership. What is the Palestinian opposition? Hamas is reviewing it. They had not answered it yet. They are reviewing it. But Islamic Jihad outfit, which is the offshoot of Hamas, it has rejected it. Gaza residents were skeptical, fearing it would prolong the conflict. And we know the context. It is post October 7, 2023 attack. So with respect to this, I hope you had understood the article here. We are discussing this since long. We are discussing articles related to Gaza since long. I hope this ceasefire will come in place and the people in Gaza, the civilians in Gaza, the children in Gaza will have the right to live and they can live with dignity. So with respect to this, what kind of question we can expect in the exam? Let's have a look at that. Here the question says which of the following conditions was not explicitly mentioned as a required component of US President Donald Trump's plan for Gaza as detailed in the article. So first, disarmament of Hamas, it was given there. Immediate recognition of Palestinian state by Israel, it is totally incorrect. This basically this is the correct answer to this question. It is given in the article. It was also mentioned, but it was not mentioned. So the correct answer would be option B, as it is asking which of them was not explicitly mentioned. So here I would like to tell one thing here, guys. Whenever you would sit in your exam hall, most of the times, what happens to the students, they know the answer, they are very much aware of the answer, they are ready to crack it, but unfortunately when they apply their knowledge, unfortunately they end up marking the wrong answer. What is the reason for that? Most of the times the reason is they are not reading the question properly. So here, why I'm bringing these much questions here, it is for many reasons. First of all, it will give you the awareness about the current affairs. It is these questions are framed in the UPSC style so that you will be habitual of answering such questions, and also it will give you the idea how to read between the lines in the questions and how to qualify the question. With this, I hope you had understood the article here. You had understood the key points given in the article, and also you had understood this question. I hope we can move to the next article now. But before we'll move to the next article, I would like to give you the brief idea about this initiative which we had started here. Basically, we started the initiative from 2nd June by the name Target IAS 2026. And I promised you that every day I will upload 2 videos. One in the morning session where we will discuss the current affairs. Second in the evening session where we will discuss the static syllabus of yours. And we were very much regular in it. But in the month of September last month, I was not able to deliver my promise. And I'm really sorry for that because of the workload which I had at my home. Because of that, I was not able to deliver it. But from today, as it is the 1st October, I can promise you, I can guarantee you, no way we are going to miss any lecture from today, and we will be very much regular in it. And as I had promised you that in the static syllabus, if you can remember, that by the month of January 2026 we will complete it, and I will be very much sure. I am giving you this assurance that before Feb 2026, we are going to complete your full syllabus. Whatever would be required to clear the exam, whether it is related to prelims or mains, everything would be cleared. But the only exception is that we are not going to discuss the optional subjects that we know. And also, as we are delivering these lectures, at the same time, we are preparing your notes. Or I can say I had prepared your book already. Indian Polity and Governance is available. What is the future of this book? First of all, it contains everything what is required for you to clear the exam. There would be no topic which you will miss from this book. It is 1100 page book, so you can know how elaboratively I had written it. And second, after every topic there would be the possible prelims or mains question, which will give the idea how this topic is important for your exam and how the question can be framed from this topic. So if you want to get access to it, you know what you will have to do. You will have to mail me at salvation UPSC 136 at the rate gmail.com. Once you will mail me at this mail ID, then you will be told to pay only 200 rupees. This is the minimum amount which you can contribute to this hard work which we are putting forward for you guys. So you will be told to pay only 200 rupees, then you will get access to this book. It is comprehensively written, and I can guarantee you one thing, that if you had read my book from A to Z, there is no way you cannot qualify the exam. This I can guarantee you. With this, let's move to the another article and see what is given in here. Let's see what this article is about. Well, the article is about the crime against children records 9.2% rise in 2023. So this article is about crime against children, as it has rose to 9.2% in 2023. And here in this article there are key important facts given which we need to know, which can be very much important for our prelims exam. First, what fact is given, that what are the major crimes which has increased, what are the major crimes like kidnapping and sexual assault. They account for more than 80% of the crimes against the children. And it also mentions what are the states which have the highest crimes against the children. For example, Madhya Pradesh and Mahar and UP. We will see what are the other states in here. So this is the data based article which is mostly relevant for your prelims exam. So with respect to this, let's have a look at key points what was given in the article. First, it talks about the total cases in 2023. It accounts for 1,77,335 cases registered. These are the registered cases. Increase from 2022, it is 9.2% has increased. Crime rate, it is 39.9% per 1 lakh child population. Major crime heads in percentage, it is kidnapping and abduction of children, 45% largest share. POSCO Act, protection of the children against sexual assault, it is 38.2%. What are the top states? It is Madhya Pradesh, it is Maharashtra, and it is Uttar Pradesh. So this is the data-based article which you need to know, which you need to remember, and you can expect the prelims question from this article. So with respect to this, let's see what kind of question which we can frame from the article. Let's have a look at it. Here the question says, according to the National Crime Records Bureau report for 2023 on crime against children, which two crime heads collectively accounts for over 80% of the total registered cases. Is it murder and assault on children? No. Is it protection of children from sexual offences act and child labor? No. Is it kidnapping and abduction of children and protection of children from sexual offences act? This is 100% correct answer. So with respect to this question, the correct option is option C. With this, let's move to the another article and let's have a look at what it is about. Well, the article is about the woman in healthcare sector. Woman labor of care, or we can say labor of care in healthcare sector. The issues related to them. For example, we have ASHA workers. They are there. Or in the states like Maharashtra, there we have ASPs, which are also known as Anshakalin Sitri Parichars. The issues with them. They are the highest contributors to the village woman. They are the highest contributors to the health of the people in their poor areas. But unfortunately, they are not paid according to their work. They are not paid according to their work. This is one of the issue related to these workers, and unfortunately they are often considered that they are the voluntarily working. They are the volunteer workers. They are not something which they need to pay. And the government, though it has promised them the minimum wage, but unfortunately the states like Maharashtra and various other states, they are giving very minimum amount to them. It's in the present date they are getting only 2000 to 6,000 rupees, which is very minimum in the present, looking at the inflation which we have right now. So it is about this article that they need to be paid according to the minimum wage rate at least, so that they are the highest contributors. Look at the vulnerabilities they face. Look at the you know the conditions they are in right now. The how they are connected to the patients, how affected they are. But unfortunately they are not paid according to their work. So definitely government needs to kick in and contribute to their wages so that they can live with dignity. So this is the core idea of the article. Let's have a look at the key points given in here. Here it talks about, it starts with the Anshakalin Sitri Paricharas. These are women in Maharashtra rural health system performing essential high effort but low status work. Wage stagnation and exploitation. ASP's monthly wage has been stagnant at 3,000 since 2016, and they lack basic benefits like job security, pensions, and safety gear that we had discussed. Legal and state indifferences. A Nagpur Labour Code acknowledged their right to minimum wages, but the state has only promised to raise their wage to 6,000 per month by December 2025, which remains below subsistence level and less than other multi-purpose health workers that we had discussed. And what is the structural contradiction? India's rural health system, which is heavily dependent on the work of women like ASPs and ASHAs, created under the National Rural Health Mission in 2025, refuses to recognize them as official workers, unfortunately. Ashas face a similar situation, officially classified as volunteers and compensated only through often delayed incentives, leading to repeated agitations for fixed honoraria and government staff recognition. Then, what is the gendered and caste hierarchy? The neglect of ASPs and ASHAs reveals a gendered and caste inflicted hierarchy of labor where crucial public health work is devalued because it is performed by poor rural women. That is also one of the issue related to it. Then, what are the risks and the dignity? These workers perform dangerous duties, for example, risk of snake bite, accident during travel, without insurance or compensation, highlighting the lack of dignity and basic rights in a system they keep functional. So these are the issues which are highlighted by the article, which the government needs to look in. So with respect to this, let's see what kind of question you can expect in the exam. Here the question says, a very simple question. The article highlights the plight of accredited social health activists, which is ASHA in India. ASHAs were created as a key component of which government health initiative. It is National Rural Health Mission. So, with respect to this question, the correct answer is option C. With this, let's move to the another article. Let's see what it is about. Well, it is about the Dungons, the survival of the Dungons, conservation of the Dungons. Let's have a look, directly look into the key points and see what does this article talk about. Here, it talks about the Dingun status, once widespread in four key areas. Please do remember it. They were available in Gulf of Mannar, Palk Gulf of Kutch, and Andaman and Nicobar. The population dwindled due to slow reproduction, poaching by catch, and habitat destruction. So they were once spread throughout these areas, but their population is slowly reducing because of the slow reproduction, poaching by catch, and habitat destruction. Then there came in the Park Bay Reserve 2022, the establishment of the Dingon Conservation Reserve in Park Bay, Tamil Nadu, is the key success story, protecting 1,200 plus hectares of seagrass meadows, the Dingon's primary food source. So then came the step, the government came up, Tamil Nadu government came up with the step to conserve these Dingons with the program Dingon Conservation Reserve in Park Bay, where they had, protected 12,000 hectares of seagrass meadows, which is the primary food source of the Dingons. What is the conservation model? The reserve is lauded by the IUCN as an example for integrating efforts by the state Tamil Nadu. Then the wildlife India's wildlife firm and local fishing communities to mitigate by catch and poaching. Positive results. Positive result. WIA surveys indicate the Park Bay population is now over 200 individuals. Ongoing threats. What are the ongoing threats? Seagrass meadows are still threatened by mechanized fishing. Uh, you know, which is one of the issues often faced between the Sri Lanka and India. Port construction, dredging, population and climate change, rising sea temperature, acidification and storms. Need for broader action. Conservation efforts are smaller and less effective in Gujarat and the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Cross-border imperative collaboration with Sri Lanka is vital for shared protection. since dragons move across the pole strait. Then what are the lessons? The effort demonstrates the power of community engagement and blending traditional ecological knowledge with modern technologies, drones, acoustic mapping. So it basically talks about how these dingoes once were widespread, but unfortunately, its population declined due to slow reproduction, poaching, and catching, mechanized, bought by bottom trawling, which is often an issue between India and Sri Lanka. But the government came in, the various organizations came in, they decided that we need to preserve them, we need to conserve them, and they successfully did it by protecting 12,000 plus hectares of seagrass meadows, which eventually led to the increase in the population of the dingoes. So this is the article what it talks about basically. So here, with respect to this, let's see what kind of question you can expect in the exam. Here the question says, in India, dugongs are primarily found in which of the following regions? First, Gulf of Mannar, correct. Palk Bay, correct. Sundarban Delta, incorrect. Gulf of Kutch, correct. So with respect to this question, the correct answer is option 1, option 2, and option 4. And from the code given below, the correct code would be option C. With this, I hope you had understood this article as well. Now let's move to the last article of today's discussion. Let us see what does it talk about. Here it talks about the data given by the female uh, you know labor force participation rate, as it has increased. The female labor force participation rate has increased, but the story is actually a little different. This article highlights, even though the female labor force participation has increased, but how it has increased, that is the question, that there is the question mark. And let's see what does this article talk about. Let's look into the points here. Here it talks about the female labor force participation rate trend, which fell from 31.2% in 2011-12 to 23.3% in 2017-18, then dramatically rose to 41.7% in 2023-24. So the trend was, it initially fell, then dramatically rose to this level. What could be the reason for that? What is the driving force? The recent rise is largely driven by rural work women. So this driving force is usually done by the rural woman, which is unpaid and self-employed shift. The rise is primarily in the categories of the helpers in the household enterprises, which is unpaid family work and own account workers and employers. So this is basically because of these. So it's a tainted picture. In a way, it may seem that their participation has increased, but where it has increased, it has mostly increased in unpaid and self-employed labor. Then what about the domestic duties? It fell sharply from 57.8% to 35.7%. Helpers in household enterprises rose by 10.5 points, from 9.1% to 19.6%. Owned account workers and employers rose by 10 points, 4.5% to 14.6%. And also income decline. During this period, real earning declined for most categories, including self-employed, indicating participation in not remunerative. Then also there is the sectorial regression. The share of rural women in agriculture rose from 71.1% to 76.9%, while their share in the non-agriculture sector declined, a sign of backward rather than forward economic progression. Even though we are in the 21st century, even though it is 2025, while AI is taking care of everything, and still we are involved, our labor force is much involved in the agriculture sector, that definitely shows that it is a backward trend rather than a forward trend. Then about what it further talks about, the vulnerability. The pattern signals deeper labor market vulnerabilities and distress led work entry, not dynamism or secure employment expansion. So definitely it is a, in a way, tainted picture which we are getting from the female labor force participation rate. With respect to this, what kind of question we can expect from the article in the exam? Here the question says, in the context of India's labor market statistics, a significant portion of the recent rise in the female labor force participation rate for rural women is accounted for by an increase in which category of work? Is a regular salaried employees? No. Casual workers in non-agricultural sector? No. Own account worker? That is 100% correct. So with respect to this question, the correct statement is option C. With this, we had completed our today's discussion. I hope you would have liked the video. I hope you would share it with your friends so that they may also get benefited from this initiative. And I hope you would subscribe the channel. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you very much and have a nice day.